another of Andre's reviews. Today we will be reviewing the well-known free-to-play on Steam game War Thunder, based around World War II planes where you play as a plane and you shoot down other people. Now I'm going to jump straight into this, talking about the planes, the gameplay, show you a bit of gameplay, show you about research and customization, and then talk about my view on the game. This is your loading screen where you get to see pictures of your currently selected planes, which down here you can buy more planes which you can play with later on in the game for recruit crew, which costs silver lions, your main currency, which you earn by winning battles or losing battles or however you come in battles. The great thing about this is for the different countries that participate in World War II, you can play as them and get their different planes. Now, because I'm British, I got the British planes first, and I've upgraded them, and we'll be playing as that today, because that's why I've got my light bomber and my fighter, and a couple more biplane fighters, so I have a little bit more than all my other countries. Now you click 2 battles, do a general arcade battle, or you can select your ones here, and you get classed. I've been ranked in 1 because I haven't been playing this for long, and that's what you're like for a while until you upgrade. Average waiting time is about a minute, as with most games, say League of Legends waiting to find a group, but it mostly doesn't really take that long, never really does with that expected time. Now I've turned the music off my menu because personally I don't like it, but you'll be able to hear it, and it's actually quite good because it's kind of realistic, I guess, to the time. The whole thing kind of adds to a sort of authenticity. Now this is a ground strike, what I've just been selected for, and even though the map kind of shows it to you, as a plane you've got to strike the things on the ground, the boats, the cars, the artillery, and once you've destroyed all of your enemies one, then you win the game, which will be shown in the middle top by the red, which are enemies, and blue, which is you. This outlines what you've got to do, so that's basically what I just said, and you can hear the music. Now once it loads, I'll tell you a bit about the tabs and how useful it is to buy more and why it is. Right, now I'm on the thing, and I'm going to collect, I'm going to choose which plane, and I'm going to go for the Hurricane first, which I quite like the Hurricane. I was really happy to get that. So then you go into here, this is where you chat, this is a bit about your details. Now when you're playing, W is to speed up, and I do love the graphics, even though I'm on ultra low quality, it's not actually that bad. And then you D and A to spin, and S to slow down and reduce your speed. Right click to zoom in, and left click to shoot. And no, I don't know mouse wheel does, haven't tried it yet. So it's quite good to fly around as you've got your mouse, shows you where you're going. And it's quite good because where this lines up is where you'll be shooting, so it makes sense. And you can spin, which I don't know why I'm doing, but I find it fun. I just love the ideas and how you can fly above and shoot others. Now red is your enemy, and there'll be a mark in front of them where you're meant to aim, which will get them when you shoot them. But I'm going to go for some ground stuff because I'm not the best at this, and I'm not really a fan of getting into conflict that much, especially not on my good planes, which I don't really want to die. We'll see how the tabs are useful for that later. Now, as you can see, all those friends in the bottom left are talking, but also in the bottom left you've got the amount of ground stuff you have left. Your aim is to get rid of all your enemies before your own, so let's do that. Now these are some of their cars, and we're going to fly down and we're going to try and strike them off without getting hit ourselves, which would be good. Now the graphics, the fact that you can crash into trees, is very good, and the authenticity is amazing because there are times when you can overload on G-force, you can hear your breathing as well, you can go too fast, your engine can cut out, and also your weapons can jam. Now I've just been shot at by another player, I selected from the other team, so let's circle around and see if we can engage in conflict, because that'd be quite a good thing to show you. Direction shows where you are, as do the others on screen, but I'm not the best at this, so I'm probably just going to die. Now I'm going to fly up, because rising and dodging is good, and I don't particularly want to die yet. Also, I'll engage in conflict with someone else, it might mean they don't really have as much of a motive to shoot at me. So let's go around, and let's look for someone. Let's go for him, and the marks come up, so that means I can shoot at him. Hopefully it wasn't going to crash then, because it's quite embarrassing when you crash head on, even if it does mean that the enemy is destroyed. Now that's the guy who's shooting at you right there, but I need to wait for me to get there first before I kill him. So, there we go, got a hit. It tells you when you get hits, and in the middle left it tells you where you're most damaged, and you can't fix this, so whatever damage you do, you're just going to have to deal with it. So there's a wild beast there, let's go for him and help him out. Now we're being shot, move out of the way. So not really much of the ground strike is being done, but I haven't really got much of a choice for that. It looks like he just escaped. So let's see if we can take out a car here. Now these are quite easy, but I'm being shot at and I'm going to go down unless I can get out of the way. So of course it's obviously not as hard strike, but there we go. there's a high chance that with all these people shooting at me, I don't really have much chance of left to live in this plane. So let's see if we can get a kill before I do that. It's fairly hard to get kills, but it depends really on what plane your person's using and whether they're newbier at it than you are. So let's try and get a kill. Now my weapon's jammed, so I'm just going to have to wait for a reload, which it usually tells you in the bottom right or the bottom left corners. It also tells you up in the top left your stats. So I've got 10 seconds to wait before I can use my weapons again. Now I'm being shot at by the enemy, which isn't exactly fun, but oh well. There we go, my weapons are back on, but I've died. I can still shoot though, but I can't control my plane. Down with the ship, and skabash. Now, here's where the tabs come in. The more tabs you have, the more planes you have, and therefore, when it loads, the more you can play with. Now that my Hurricane is dead, as it should be, which I really like about the game, it's dead, it's been shot, what's the point in letting me use it again? I'm going to choose my bomber now, so I can't use it again. If you run out of all planes before you've killed all of the enemy's ground stuff, then that means you can either spectate or leave and go straight to your own leaderboard. Now, depending on which plane you choose, they all fly differently as one would expect. The bomber is a lot slower, but you can activate a turret on the back and shoot at the enemy, which, for some reason there was one here, which there never usually is. Oh, just at the angle I'm at. Then you can just press V to change your view, and there we go. Space drop bombs, that's down there, you can see the little thing at the bottom of the screen is where my bombs are. That is where your bomb is supposed to go, so that's why I'm going to attempt to fly from really high up, and I'm going to try and bomb their base, which other people try to do for you when it tells you. So it flies a bit differently and it's a lot slower to manoeuvre, but it's good, it's what you would expect. And I do like how it kind of has a bit of history in it, being able to play in Stalingrad and all the well-known places, and so on and so forth like that. Now, if you can see, you can survey how other people are playing, and it's got the kilometres, what their names are. Sadly I had to sign up with my Google account so it gave me my full name, but then again there's not really much you can do. Some things I don't understand yet, but other people, look, you can get stripes and things to follow you. But we're going to head straight there for the bombing site, which will be quite fun to do. So you've got the other people who are pilots flying around, and actually you, and next thing is their plane. So I'll show you about research later and how that helps you to get planes. I don't understand it much myself, but it's a good thing to know. So, of course they have to be lined up for you, right? See if we can fly right over here. We're going to go a bit lower, even though there are a few people there. I'm probably going to get attacked, but if I can just drop all 4 of my bombs top left, showing where they are, then that would be quite an achievement. So, I think there's already a bomber there. We're shaking a bit, must be the altitude or something, or maybe just how fast I'm going. So we'll slow it down, because it does like you to drop your max speed, and then just wait until we're right over the point. That's where I'll start dropping bombs. So we'll start now. There we go. Now I'm going to press F6 and aim with my turrets. That's the thing going off next time here. Oh! There we go. I damaged their base, but I'm going to have to move out the way because I am being shot at. And I have run out of, it says in the bottom, my gunner is unconscious, which means I'm not going to be able to use him. So, because this is hard to manoeuvre, it's not very good to do head-on combat with the guns, so I'm going to try and fly off if I can and get as much altitude and try and get a couple of shots. But because they're in fighters, they're going to be a lot more manoeuvrable, and I'm probably going to crash. Let's see if we can get a kill before I do that. Oh, here we go. I'm down. Look at my damage. Might as well die. Trying to get a kill. Now F6, I can still do the backwards view, but my gun is unconscious. So, critical speed, push nose down. Now, there's not really much I can do considering I am obviously dead. Increase throttle to avoid crash. Well, I'm going to crash anyway. There's not really much I can do to avoid this. But so you can see the game. I like the graphics, even though I'm on ultra low quality. I do think it's quite good how it works and other people. And pretty much any computer can run it. So, well, unless you have a network, I would have experience considering that's what I used to game on. Let's see if I can end this quickly so I can show you a couple more of my planes. But it looks like we are going down, and we are most certainly getting timber. And down we go. Splash. Neon. There we go. Crashed into the water. So, 29-32, we're winning, but it would seem just. A lot of things can change. These two are dead, and now I've got my biplanes, and these fly a lot differently than the fighters, even though they're kind of fighters. Different settings here, which is pretty damn awesome. And here we go. I'm in battle. So the enemy are bombing our base, but this is a lot easier to spin and kind of easier to maneuver, even though they are easier to get shot down and your pilot's vitality is less. If you can apply vitality and different things for your pilots by winning stuff, then you earn these points. So the more vitality I can get, the less chance he'll be knocked unconscious by bullets. And the same for my crew too, depending on which I've got, but this is just normal fighters, which is just my pilot. So I like the fact that these little things are added on the game, and also the scenery and flying around it is just generally fun anyways. I can do a little bit of acrobatics and attempt not to crash into trees, because it is rather lifelike in the way you're flying. And you do have to kind of feel a little bit badass when you're just shooting something and you just manage to sweep up from the ground by pushing your mouse to the top of the screen. Now we're going to try and hit part of their ground instead of going for the planes, because being like this probably isn't a clever idea. But I'm going to fly low, because even though it's easier to see me and therefore I'm going to get shot, means it's kind of a bit more fun for you guys to see the different houses and the detail. However, I don't like the size. You can see the size of my pilot, and apparently it's the size of a ruddy Titan, if you watch Shingeki no Kyojin, and you'll know what I mean. If not, they're huge 25-foot abnormal beasts, which are kind of like naked humans without any private parts. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that the size of the cars and things you're shooting are disproportionate to your plane. Your plane is a lot bigger than it should be, I'm guessing, because if you look at the size of the car, and you look at the size of your people, the cars are absolutely tiny, and your person is the size of one of these, which isn't very lifelike, but hey, that's one of the very little things I've got to complain about this game, because I indeed like it very much. Of course, it's a shooting game and it's flying, so you're going to get those kind of quirks anyway, and they're a lot harder to hit. Also, the graphics on the floor aren't that good at times, but then what more do you need when you've got your trees, your things, and the targets are quite proportional anyway. Also, as you can see in the bottom right, I am on ultra low quality, because I want the best viewing experience for you with the least lag possible. Now, of course, I'm trying to help my team by knocking down the number. We've got 8, so I'm just trying to shoot these, and while being shot by other people, which isn't a very good thing, but hey, what more can I do? So you've got the different voice and things about our victory, and up in the top middle, it's kind of got a graph about how things going. Now he's probably going to crash into me. There we go, we crashed, and I lost that confrontation, and I fell. Last plane left. After this, I'll go into spectator mode, or I can just leave. Hopefully I want to survive till the end of the battle, so I'll fly around showing you what's going on without dying. Rightio. Just wait for it to load, and here we are back in the game. So there's not really much bad about loading time, but I'm just going to wait. In fact, I might head over and see what work I can do to help finish this. I only got 6 of the targets left, and they've only got 9, so this can't really go on for much longer anyway. But here we are. So this is the gameplay, and it is pretty damn awesome. I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy the science and how kind of authentic it is. Of course, it's nothing really like flying a real plane, but come on, for a game it's not bad. And look, the graphics aren't that bad either, so you're going to have a bit of fun anyway. The controls are easy to get the hang of. I've only just started, and I still get this, and I'm not that good at this anyway. Of course, the sounds change depending on which view you go for, and a lot of them are fun depending on how you do it too. Anyway, let's see what we should do. We only got 4 of the enemy left. Let's head towards what we can. And of course in your bottom right you've got what people are doing. You just skim over the top of the tree tactfully. If I crash then there would be no way in hell that I would upload this embarrassing video. Now, flying around itself is, as I've mentioned, just generally fun. You can shoot through trees, skim through buildings, even if it is disproportionate. But it is disproportionately epic, I guess. Not that that made any sense, but you guys know that anyway, at least I hope. Rightio. Flying on, we're looking to see some of these red dots. That, I believe, is not a red dot, even though there is something in front of me that is red. Just hoping I can come across some artillery or anything to be able to shoot. Victory is close, apparently, and there, that's something I could help shoot. Or is it an artillery which oh, pillbox. Pillboxes can only be hit by bombs, and there's someone. Let's see if we can get into a bit of confrontation with them. Of course, using the mouse is a lot easier than trackpad, even though I have been playing most of this with the trackpad, considering I got my mouse very recently. So right click to zoom, left click to shoot, and of course you don't want your gun to jam. Nyong. And it will tell you if you get hit. Hello. Whoa, I just got hit by someone on my team, so there we go, I'm dead, lost all my planes, hardly ever happens, but hey ho. Now, I'm not going to wait till the end of the match. I'll still get my statistics from what's been going on now, and we'll see what happens then. So I can talk, and I can switch between planes, and I can say, hey, to my team, which I'm not sure if that's kind of your thing. So I can switch between planes, statistics, but it's going to end anyway, so we might as well just wait. This is the top player, and this is me. See, I didn't do too well having to die, and it tells you about the different states or what planes you've got. Lovely little bomber there. The enemy is winning, and we've got very little left. And then you can see my player card and the details. So a player card tells you about your victories, random battles, custom battles, and things which I haven't done yet. I'm only level 9 after all, and there's not really much I can show you. But then again, from a noob's perspective to people who will most likely be noobs in the game. So, if we look, we are almost done, and this person is flying around acrobatically. But you can switch between it, different marks, different planes, see how people are doing. Oh, we won. Now, we'll wait. The waiting thing, and it will tell you about the loading screen, and then I can kind of talk to you about the research initiative. So I came 11th in my team, and up should pop up some research stuff. These awards. Now, these are what my research is doing. I did fine. Player statistics, okay. Now I'll go back to the main screen. Now, research are these different things on your plane. You can edit stuff, like your pilot's vitality, and different things. So, I've got 42 crew points, and that means I can add these up. Vitality means that he won't die as much as he could, which is, of course, excellent. So we'll just take that back down to the 0. You can work on your gunners, qualifications, and your ground service. But that's for that plane only, and it works for different ones. We'll click research. Now these are different planes. In order to get a new plane you need to research it. Your research goes up with the more you go. Now these are different parts, so 1, 2, 1, all the way up to 5, like I said, as you go down, with different planes and better ones you can fight with, going from really cool meteors and so on, but then again you start with your average biplanes. These are this is my light bomber. Well, actually no, that's not my light bomber. I thought it was, but it turns out it wasn't. Scroll up. This is my light bomber, and then you can go down to different ones. This might even be it too. Maybe I've got 2, which would be rather an interesting thing to see. Your different gladiators, your swordfish, your furies, and you get different ones too when they're all reserves, and it tells you what they should be for. Now you can edit these by doing screwdrivers, and as I said before, the research, you can use research and spend a tiny bit of your huge amounts of money on making these things better. You can buy them and so on and so forth. Now these are kind of the things you have to pay for to get more. Your golden eagles, your premium kind of currency, as it says up there. Now these are for arcade battles, then you have realistic battles and simulator battles, which I don't really know much about. Now what we'll do is we'll leave this by going down from research, and then we'll go into my hurricane and we shall click customization. Now the music changes if on the airfield, and you can add decal and camouflage, so I can pick a symbol I like. Some of these things cost, and then decal, click the one I like. We'll have that because I think it's free, and then you can test fly, you can check on the weaponry, and you can go for the information, try and show you what happens if it's deciding to work. We'll go for this one, decal. No, we do not want to buy that. Come on, there we go, and it tells you where you can paint it. So if I were to click there we go, we've got some decal. And we can spin this around. Can I have this one again? No, we don't want this one again. What should we have this time? Spin it round, we'll have it. And then I can flip around my plane. I'm going to guess by clicking flip, or would that be flipping what I'm doing? But you can aim. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not the best at this kind of thing anyway. But you can zoom out, and you can get your Piccadilly too and your different things. So that's customization. We'll see if we can go back to the menu by clicking back, which is kind of obvious. So you get the feel of the game. It is a fighter game, as I said before, and my personal review of it is to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's a 7 out of 10 because it's better than 5, obviously. It's not as good as Mighty Quest for Epic Loot because I don't find it as fun as the hands-down fighting, and there are a couple of things wrong with it, like the proportion size. Sometimes you can get lag at waiting, and the kind of things about research, and that maybe the customization isn't as fun as it could be, even though you have got all your different countries you can play with too. The battle is amazing, and it's quite good, and I would definitely say it's worth the download. If you're into driving, if you're into flying, and you like shooting, this thing is excellent for you. You can make new friends, chat to them, press control to talk, and you can learn about rockets, missiles, and do the different tutorials too. It is an excellent piece of fun. I recommend it if you're bored. Battles don't take too long, and you can leave them at any time, unlike some games which kind of have a go at you if you leave them. So yeah, this was War Thunder. I was André, and hopefully see you next time for the next review. Thanks.